Hello, my beautiful mystic hearts, and welcome to today's love reading. All right, so before we get into it today, I do have to say that there has been a song that has been haunting me all morning, and before I came to sit down to actually do this reading. So this won't really resonate with some of you that are listening in today, and that's "Tear Us Apart" by In Excess, which is an amazing Australian band. Haven't been around for some time. Um, with Michael Hutchence as the late Michael Hutchence as the lead singer, and it's just such a beautiful song. But it has been haunting me all day, so I think that it is going to be resonating with some of you today. It also really reminds me of that real twin flame connection. So if you're not familiar with this song, then I would really recommend you go and just listen to it and hear those words. It really reminds me of the twin flame journey, and how we all are called into to our mission work to follow our path. So yeah, I would highly recommend that if you don't know that song, and you don't know the words, I would go on and have a look at it. But on that note, let's get into it. So we're going to get straight into the tarot today. So it's the Lover's Path Tarot that I'll be using this morning, which is a really lovely deck, obviously all dedicated to love and also, to the divine journey. So let's get into it. All right, so I'll just start shuffling here, and I'm going to try and just get your energy into these cards. This is a relatively new deck too, so bear with me here. The cards are still becoming malleable. All right, just bear with me. So I'm just going to get your energy into these cards. Start by splitting the deck here. All right, so what is around you at the moment? What is around this beautiful collective in love at the moment, and this person on your mind? So we'll first get into your energy. We'll do a split, a read on yourself, and then we'll get into your masculine's journey, into his energy, I should say. Jen, I said journey for a reason, but energy. All right, we've already got the cards trying to pop out here, but I will split the deck properly. Like I said, already got cards trying to pop out, but let's do this. All right, so just your overall ruling energy. So let's see what we've got here. All right, so straight away we've got the staves is wands in this deck, and so we've got the 6 of wands, but they're in reverse. And then we've also got desire. So desire but this is in the reverse as well. So desire is the chariot in this deck. So we've got 6 of staves or the 6 of wands. So the 6 of wands in the upright is all around recognition. It's all around triumph. It's all around really hard work being recognized is what I'm hearing. But we've then got this in the reverse. So that means that this person on your mind, that this connection that you're in, is that there's been a real lack of accomplishment here is what I'm hearing. So you just feel very stuck, very blocked, that there hasn't been recognition in this connection, which would make me think that this is probably a connection that you feel has been out of balance. I'm also seeing the 6 of Pentacles card as well, so that it's just been quite out of balance in this connection. The 6 of staves or 6 of wands in reverse is also around. It can be quite a narcissistic card as well. So you might have been dealing with someone. So this person on your mind, your masculine, may have been someone that you feel really didn't make you a priority, really was quite almost selfish, which might sound a bit harsh, but almost selfish in the connection, really didn't want to put your needs first, really putting their needs above anybody else is what I'm hearing. So I think this is also old energy. I'm just getting through the feeling that this is old energy. So I think you've been on this journey for a little while. But yeah, this was a connection that really made you feel like you were not a priority in this person's life. And then you've got desire, or in this deck, this is the Chariot, but the Chariot in reverse. So once again, it's all around blockers. So the Chariot is all around hard, concerted effort, trying to reach goals, really, you know, really pushing yourself along through to achieving what you've envisioned in your mind. And I think that there's been a real blocker here with this person. So I think that you've had a goal with this person, you've had something you've wanted to achieve with this person, but there's been real blockers here between you and this person. So I think there's also, I'm getting that there's a lot of distance between you guys. So either that is emotional distance, almost guarantee it's emotional distance, but also physical distance as well. I'm feeling that there is some distance between the two of you, and that there has been physical distance between the two of you for quite some time. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep splitting this deck. All right, we'll get your top row here. So funny, they were all coming out at me before, and now they're being very particular. All right, there we go. There's your top row. So let's have a look. All right, so we had this one first. Oh, these are quite large tarot cards too, so bear with me here as I try and make these actually fit. Okay, so hopefully you can see those on camera really well there. All right, so we've got Fortune. So we'll just pull this up here first. So this is your current energy, but this is in the reverse. All right, so Fortune is really a card around, so this is the Wheel of Fortune, right? So this is really a card around divine timing as well, but also that wheel turning in your favor, right? So that's in the upright. In the reverse though, and this is how you're seeing this connection at the moment, is that Fortune is not on your side when it comes to this connection, which I really do feel for you. But you're feeling that this has been really stuck, that there's karmic cycles here which haven't turned in your favor, that there are probably a lot of, I'm just hearing as well that you feel that in this person, in your masculine's life, you also do feel that there are a lot of karmic cycles, that he's been stuck in a lot of karmic cycles as well, as what I'm hearing, which is giving you a lot of frustration. I'm just getting that real frustrated feeling here. And you really, yeah, so this has been a real blockage between the two of you. I'm also hearing, so when we're talking about karmic cycles, this could be a variety of different things, you know, that karmic wheel. It could be addictions. It could also be other third-party influences, like around family, friends, just toxic relationships that have been in this masculine's life. I'm also going to just to side note here as well, as I will be referring to masculine, feminine, is that is the nature of divine connections, or if you resonate with a twin flame connection, divine counterpart in some way, a soul contract connection, is that there are a masculine and a feminine energy to them. Now, it doesn't matter which meat vessel you're in, and you could identify with either the masculine or the feminine. It's just that straight away I was getting the feeling that I'm channeling the feminine here, and we're looking at how you're feeling as the feminine, identifying with the feminine energy in this connection at the moment. So we will break down into your masculine as well, but at the moment I just feel like I'm reading the feminine energy. So yeah, so definitely not a gendered reading. Like I said, you could identify either with the feminine or the masculine. But back to this card, so you're looking at this masculine at the moment, at this connection, and just feeling that, yeah, there were some real blockers here, and very much around karmic relationships. I'm also thinking as well that there may have been karmic relationships with yourself. I'm just hearing that as well, that you are also closing out cycles at the moment. So you are also trying to examine those relationships in your life which are no longer serving you. So this is, family, as I said, family, friends, also potentially addictions with yourself as well. Why did I just hear that you might have just given up sugar? I just heard that, or some sort of a new diet plan is what I'm hearing, just trying to identify new healthier ways of actually living. I've just heard that, like a new lifestyle I just heard. So I'm sure that will resonate with at least a couple of you here. But yeah, but just at the moment, just really examining karmic cycles is what I'm hearing, just trying to close out old karmic energy, which has been a blocker here with you and your masculine, and just really trying to step into new ways of doing things, is what I've heard, into healthier relationships. All right, and then we've got the Four of Cups here. So the Four of Cups in the upright is all around trying to be, so the universe is trying to grant you something, right? You've actually got that cup, right? But you're sitting there in reflection. You're not actually seeing what has been put in front of you, right? So the universe is trying to grant you, or has been trying to grant you, new relationships, new energy, new way of doing things. I'm also hearing it in your pentacle path as well, is that you have the universe and your team have been, or whoever you pray to up there, have been trying to grant you new opportunities, right? And not just in this connection, but in love, in life, in your family. I'm hearing family around you as well. But given that it's in the upright, you just have been feeling stuck with it, that you haven't really known which way to go, that you've been in contemplation and just really not sure which way to go in life at the moment, which I think is currently a blocker for you, given that this is the Four of Cups, but it's in the reverse. I think that you were just a bit of a stalemate. I just heard that word, which is not normally a word I use, but I just heard stalemate. You're just a bit stuck at the moment. You're not quite sure which way to go with this connection in particular, but also in life as well. I think you might just be feeling a little bit stuck in general, is what I'm hearing. I know that that there are opportunities being presented to you, but potentially maybe you're just not seeing them at the moment, which is also causing a lot of frustration. I'll get further cards to confirm that, but I think that that's just your overall energy at the moment. I think you are feeling really quite stuck, because there's a lot of, in fact, all of your cards here are all in the reverse. So I think that, yeah, it's just a real sense of blocking at the moment with you. And so here we've got the Princess of Cups, Queen of Cups, right? But in the reverse, right? So the Queen of Cups is all around, she's a real compassionate, she's a very loving queen. I'm just hearing, give the shirt off, off her back. She's a really beautiful energy. She's very, very nurturing. But in the reverse, I feel that there's been a lack of that within this connection. I'm thinking you're feeling, and also just in your life in general. Like I said, I'm just getting this very blocked feeling. So I think that there have been issues in your life which have presented themselves, which have made you feel quite like compassion hasn't been shown towards you, is what I'm hearing. And I think that was very much in this connection as well, that this masculine of yours was also in a Queen of Cups in reverse energy, that they really didn't make you feel like a priority, that they really did. There was a lot of heartache here. I'm just hearing a lot of heartache, a lot of hurt here. You didn't feel that this person showed a lot of compassion towards you with how you were feeling or what you were going through. I also heard as well that sometimes you can also have difficulty in expressing how you're feeling as well. I just heard that. And this is something that you're working on. This is part of your shadow that you're trying to work through, is trying to, and this is also part of this karmic cycles that you're trying to close out is also discovering your compassionate side, actually discovering your Queen of Cups in the upright, that you are aware that you can be the Princess of Cups or the Queen of Cups in the reverse. And so, yeah, I just think that you are really trying to work on this. You're trying to work on your compassion, is what I'm hearing. Because then we also have then the Queen of Staves. So this is the Queen. So this is very interesting. She keeps coming up on a lot of my readings. Actually, is that Queen of Staves. So the Queen of the Queen of Wands, but in the upright. So you could be, if like I said, she is coming up in a lot of my readings. So you could actually be a fire sign. The person you're dealing with could also be a fire sign as well. But in the upright, then she is, then she knows exactly what she wants. She knows which way she's going. But in the reverse, she really lacks a lot of confidence as well. So she's not quite sure which way to go. She lacks a lot of confidence. Like I said, I'm just getting this real blocked feeling here. This really, that you're just not sure which way to go. I think going back to the Four of Cups, but in reverse again, I think that you know that there is a way forward, but you just can't see it yet, is what I'm hearing. It's just a lot of frustration at the moment, a lot of inconfidence as well, really not sure which way to go. And then we've got the Magic card. So this is the Magician in this deck. But then in the reverse again, so more blockers. So the Magician really is around, trying to bring manifestations in. It's understanding the world around you, what's, the resources that are around you, and being able to then, basically use your magic, use your the power that you step into to bring those manifestations through. And that's in the reverse here, which means, like, once again, this is a card of blockers. I don't think that in this connection really which way to go. I think you feel very, very stuck, but also just, I'm hearing just in life in general, you're just being very stuck at the moment. All right, let's get some more cards here just to confirm that. Actually, before I do that, I just want to go back to this card. I immediately saw the Queen of Cups here. So there will be a reason why I called that out, right? Is around your emotional development. But this is actually the Princess of Cups. Spirit's just told me to go back to this card again. This is actually the Princess of Cups, which means in the traditional deck that this would be the Knight, right? The Knight of Cups, so in the upright, the Knight of Cups is all around that love offer that's come through from this person. It's very much that Knight. It can be also quite an immature energy. I'm not gonna lie. So very impulsive energy as well. That Knight of Cups or the Princess of Cups, she just emotionally can be quite impulsive. She's not particularly with me. She's not a particularly stable card. The way that I see her, right? Just can be quite emotionally immature. But in the reverse, it's all around heartbreak. She's all around the heartbreak as well, which ties into this reading, is that you have gone through a lot of heartbreak as a result of this connection as well. So like I said, I was seeing that reverse Queen of Cups, which will definitely be resonating for whoever's reading this is, that will be resonating with you. But likewise, so is the Princess of Cups in reverse. It's all around heartbreak, about offers that haven't come in, about offers that haven't materialized as well, which means I think that you've been waiting for this masculine to come through to you for really quite some time, which is why I think you're losing faith here, which is why I think you're feeling so stuck with these cards. Your manifestations aren't coming through. It's a time factor here. You've been really waiting for this wheel of fortune to turn in your favor, and you're just feeling like it's never going to, is what I just heard. All right, let's get some more. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Oh, but then we've got Six of Cups. So it's come out sideways. I do feel that this should be upright. So confirming, right? So, oh, you poor thing. So we've got that karmic cycles, which won't come in, but then you're reminiscing about this person. So it's all looking back at this masculine, looking back at memories, old photos. You've probably got videos stored on your phone of this person. I also heard as well that you might be social media stalking this person as well. I would highly recommend that you don't be doing that. If you go and try and open Pandora's box, like if you are feeling that you need to hop onto this person's socials, if you still have access to those, and go and look at what's going on in their life. Also, maybe I've just heard that this blockage could also be caused because you have been going onto this person's socials. I would highly recommend that you don't do that. As soon as you open Pandora's box, you are almost always certain to find something that is going to upset you. And because you're on this journey, you might end up seeing something that may not actually be what you think it is, and then it puts you into this tailspin. So I would highly recommend that you don't be stalking, because you ultimately will find something you don't like, right? And vice versa for the masculine as well. If the masculine has, if you have an understanding that this masculine's been stalking you, like I said, I will tap into his energy, to the masculine's energy, but just to see if he's also potentially been on your socials as well. Maybe you've seen that. Maybe if he has been on your socials, maybe that's also what put you into this tailspin. But just very reminiscing at the moment. And also I'm just seeing the Five of Cups as well. I just think that there's quite a bit of sadness around you at the moment. So let's hope that there's some really nice guiding messages here. We'll ask Spirit for some really nice guiding messages for you. All right, so Six of Cups, reminiscing. So we've got Four of Cups in the reverse. So 10 of Arrows or 10 of Swords, right? So painful endings, right? Painful endings is what the 10 of Swords is all about, which is what happened between you and this masculine, is that really painful ending between the two of you, which makes sense. When twin flames are brought together, or when you're brought together with your divine counterpart, I'll get my words out in a second, that it is such a magnetic, you were drawn together like magnets, like magnets, getting all tongue-tied. This person will be someone that you just never thought that you would ever meet, or that you would ever be attracted to either. So typically twin flames, if you do identify with a twin flame, and I'm getting that real sense here when I'm looking at these cards, that if you do identify with a twin flame journey, then you're typically from very different walks of life. So there's generally a real societal issue between the two of you as well. So whether that be an age gap, whether that be completely different lifestyles, it can also be nobility factors. It'll be something between the two of you that the world around you just says, no, this would never work. But deep down in your heart of hearts that this is your person, right? That this is the person that you will ultimately be with. There will also be a sense that you will have been through this with this person through karmic cycles, life after life, which is exactly what happens with twin flames. So you do go through multiple lifetimes together trying to heal out your karmic cycles. Ultimately, when you do get to a point where you have healed enough sufficiently, when you have closed out enough cycles between the two of you, then you will be brought back together again. And also, to digress a little bit further, is that twin flames, just as quickly as you do meet each other, you actually end up meeting each other, and it's incredible. And it's almost always very serendipitous as well. So it's someone that you never thought you would meet. You generally meet in a way that you were never supposed to meet, but you just happen to be in the same place at the same time. And just as quickly as you're brought together, though, because you then highlight in each other all of the trauma that both of you are suffering from, because you do meet each other at a very broken stage. You're both very broken birds when you actually meet each other. And so when that happens, when you are brought together, you then ignite each other, you highlight all of the trauma within each other, you mirror each other back, and then you're very quickly then separated, which is very traumatic, which is the 10 of arrows. It's actually very traumatic, generally, the way it happens. It's normally very quick, but you are parted again. So the universe will step in, or your guides, whoever you pray to, will step in and say, all right, it's now time to separate and go on your independent healing journeys. And so the reason why you must be separated, though, while this happens, is that there's so much karmic energy that has to be healed out, that there's no possible way that you guys can do that together, because there's so much love between the two of you that you just end up excusing too much from each other, and you end up actually not healing. You just repeat cycle after cycle after cycle together. So you have to be separated in order to come to start that healing journey. Once you've ended up healing sufficiently, then you're brought back to alignment again. When that actually happens, though, the only people or entity that know that is the divine, or your teams are the only ones that know that. And then so part of the journey then is just surrendering to the journey, ripping through that layer, understanding that you have to relinquish control, relinquish fear of uncertainty, and then just trust in the divine, and then trust in divine timing. It's a very tough road to go down. It really is, which is why, this was a very painful ending for you. But you've got this in the reverse here, which means that you have been trying to get over this, right? So because this is the blocker, right? You've been trying to get over this painful ending. But I just feel like you're stuck in that, right? You're just unable to move past this person. You're unable to move past this pain. It just really stuck at the moment. I really feel for you. It's such a tough journey. It really is. And like I said, I think that you do feel that you've got things that are trying to be granted to you here with that Four of Cups, but you just can't see it at the moment. And you're just really trying to come out of this heartbreak. So I am also being reminded that if this is your collective, this is where you're feeling that this is a layer that you're going to have to get through, that everything has to happen in divine timing, and that you have to end up relinquishing control over this. That fear of abandonment, it's all part of the shadow that has to be worked through, especially as a divine feminine. So typically in a twin flame connection, you as a divine feminine will be allocated the longing veil, or the fear of abandonment, that real chaser energy, fear of abandonment, unable to let go. That's the veil that you're going to have to be working through. So if that's what you're going through at the moment, it means that you're really going to have to go into introspection at the moment and really try and understand the reasons as to why you're feeling this and why you're feeling so stuck. And it's really a layer that you're going to have to examine to understand where this fear of abandonment is coming from. I just heard that that's actually going to really frustrate some of you, me saying that, because I feel that you've been trying to work on that for some time. So I'm hearing that message is really going to frustrate whoever this is for. But you need to look at it again. I'm just hearing that very strongly from Spirit, is that you need to examine it again. Okay, all right. So we've got the Princess, not the Queen, though for this right collective, the Queen in reverse of Cups will resonate, but the Princess or the Knight. Oh, but then we've got the Queen of Coins. So this is what you're really hoping, this masculine, this is what you're wanting this masculine to offer. So this is, right, this was all of that heartbreak, right? There's that love offer that has not come through, that you're really, a lot of heartbreak was caused when you guys separated. And then we've got this Queen of Coins, and the Queen of Coins is what you're really wanting to step into. So the Queen of Coins, or the Queen of Pentacles, she's such a stable energy. She's all about commitment. She's, she just sits there on her beautiful throne after she's been through all the Pentacles, right? She's been through the Knight. She's now sitting in the Queen. All of her manifestations are starting to come through. That commitment's there. But this has been a blocker because this is something that you really have wanted your masculine to come through with, but it just hasn't been happening. It hasn't come through, which is leading to this really stuck energy. But you are really wanting this this commitment. All right, so we've got Queen of Wands. I'll also say too, is that I think I said this, but I'm just being told again that you could be a fire sign, or this person on your mind could also be a fire sign as well. So Leo, Sagittarius is what I was hearing straight away. Or this masculine as well could also be a fire sign as well. But also too that there's just inaction. There's because this is in the reverse, there's just a lot of inaction here. Like I said, I'm just getting such a stuck feeling at the moment. So Queen of Wands in reverse. There we go. What's this card? All right, so we've got innocence. Oh, so this is all about, all right, so this is the Fool in the original deck. This is all about taking that step forward, taking that step towards each other, but it's in the reverse again, which means that there's just been a lot of blockers here, that this masculine hasn't taken this step towards you, which is causing, it's really causing you to be inconfident, to really doubt this connection. But like I said, this is just a layer that you're going to really have to get through. And then we've got the Magician in reverse. And I know that me saying it's just a layer you're going to have to get through, I know I'm being told that it's really going to frustrate whoever this reading is for, but you're going to have to go back and have a look. All right. And then lastly, just for this last, under this Magician in reverse, then we've got, well, the Awakening. So this is the Sun. This is my Yes card. It's also a divine masculine energy as well, but it's in the reverse. It came through in the reverse. So just confirming what we've been talking about, that you're just feeling incredibly stuck with this, that you thought this person was your divine masculine, and now maybe they're not. Now you may be doubting that maybe they're not your divine masculine anymore, which makes me think that you've been on this journey for a little while. But yeah, you're just in a real valley at the moment, is what I'm feeling. All right. Okay. So we've got very, very stuck energy here. You're really doubting this connection, is what I'm hearing. So let's break this down. I want to get into your masculine then. So that's really what is going on around you. I want to get into this masculine, so I might get these. Actually, I'm being told just to go straight into the broken mirror, just to get some pictures here. So straight into the masculine. They might actually get some tarot for the masculine as well, but I'm being told just to go, straight into broken mirror. So, all right, just wringing out that energy. And then I'm going to get this broken mirror deck. And I just have to say, straight away on the cards, we've got, this is the twin flame card, right? So this is just confirming exactly what we're talking about. I haven't actually looked at this deck for for at least a day and a half, depending on when you're seeing this reading. So I've been using other decks in between. So the fact that this would be here is a real confirmation that you are on this twin flame journey. That these lessons, this person wasn't your usual type, different spiritual beliefs, that you really need to hold the faith that what you're going through is actually very normal, and this is part of the twin flame journey. It's part of a lay that you're going to have to get through. But bear with me here. Okay. All right. What is happening in this masculine's life? What's going on? What is going on with this masculine? Okay, all right. So I'm just going to split the deck, and I'm just going to see what we split the deck to. So we've got push, pull, and stubborn. So this is currently going on around your masculine at the moment. So it looks like you guys are actually mirroring each other, which doesn't surprise me. As twin flames, if you're identifying with the twin flame journey, this is also it's also one of the cards that reminds me of that twin flame. Is the whole push pull dynamic. So it is that magnetic pull, and then that magnetic push away, right? So just as easily as you pull each other in, you also repel each other, which makes sense why I was making that digression before, all around the twin flame connection. But this is what we were saying. So that connection between the two of you, like this masculine knows that there were power struggles between the two of you. There was imbalance between the two of you. Also, that both of you were quite stubborn. And look at this. We've actually got two stubborn cards here. Stubborn and stubborn. I swear you can't make this stuff up, right? So selfish, bossy, inflexible. I have a feeling that you were both like this. I'm also, whenever I see that stubborn card, I also immediately think of Taurus as well, that real bull energy. So you could be dealing with not an air sign, it could be an air sign, but with an earth sign. So the other earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, right, or Taurus. So there's a real push pull between the two of you. And also, I think, though, that I'm straight away seeing that Fool in Reverse card that came out just in your deck, is that both of you are not willing to take a step towards each other, right? I think that this stubbornness, that this push-pull is for the both of you. I think that you're both feeling it at the moment. I also think that this masculine thinks that you're quite bossy. I just heard that. So this could have been something that you guys fought over, is what I'm hearing, or caused conflict, is around maybe oh, you're always so bossy. I just heard that. So for some of you, that's really going to resonate. But then there was this inflexibility between the two of you. This is what this masculine's currently going over at the moment. I think he's also in deep reflection on what's going on. But let's have a look. All right. Okay, I've got cards. Okay, I won't take those because it's too many. But let's have a look. That's way too many, but I feel I have to take that top one. It's actually way too many. But I will get a couple more. Couple more, please. Two more. Very particular all of a sudden. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's see what we've got here. The very first one that came out was hateful, spiteful, jealousy. I have a funny feeling, this is what I picked up just on when I very first pulled your deck, is around snooping, right? And that snooping card actually came out, right? I think that you've both been on social media looking at each other. Like I said, I think that you are mirroring each other at the moment, and whatever has been found here, I think I was picking up that you had maybe opened Pandora's box, but maybe this is this masculine, right? Because he has, well, clearly, right, been snooping. So maybe he's actually the one that's been on social media. Maybe he's just, you can see that he's seen something. Maybe he's just come through and liked one of your stories. Whatever it is that he's seen, I don't think he's particularly happy about it, I have to say. And you're also in Six of Cups, so he'll be in Six of Cups energy as well, so that real reminiscing energy. I think that whatever he's seen here, he's not particularly happy about, because I think that it was a picture of you out having fun. I'll say this in a second. Going out having fun with family, friends, things along those lines. And I think that he wishes he could be there with you. I think he's got a lot of envy over this, which means that he is in deep regret. I was seeing that Five of Cups card, right? I really think that he's in real deep regret here. But like we see, he is. You can feel him around you at the moment, but he has been snooping. All right, what else have we got here? So we've got desire. I'm gonna have to put a little something over this, right? But that is, yeah, like if he's been snooping, this has reignited all of that desire that is between the two of you. Also need to say that if you are identifying with that twin flame connection, there will be so much chemistry and attraction between the two of you, to the point that it will be like anything, you won't have actually experienced anything like that with anybody else. And I'm hearing that was a discussion that the two of you probably had, was that the amount of connection that was between, I'm trying to use my words carefully here, but the connection between the two of you was really insane. I'm hearing that word, insane. But this is what is, so this masculine is really reflecting on all of that at the moment. I'm also hearing that he must have old photos of you as well, potentially videos. I just heard video, but he's reminiscing about all of that. And then we've got this dating card. I don't think that he's particularly dating. I think that this is how he's scared about you, because he's been snooping. I think that he's scared that you might actually be back on the market, that you might have options around you. Like I said, I thought that this was your energy, although, look, I'll be honest, if I do think that you've been mirroring. I do think you might have been having a little sneaky peek, but I think that you've definitely got this sense that he is as well. He could also be, if he's not been on your socials, he also could be psychically stalking you as well. I just heard that, which means that he could also be gotten tarot readings about you. But I think that he's concerned at the moment that you are dating somebody else. And then we've got double life. But then if you can see the team, it's also got determined. I'm just going to move these along. Hopefully you can keep seeing these. So this is going back to that very first card that I pulled, or those very first decks that I pulled for you, and is that this is how this person made you feel in this situation, in this connection, is that you did feel that there was something else there, that there were third parties involved, that this was a connection that did not make you feel like a priority. And he is going over that, like he is reminiscing about that. Like I said, I keep just seeing that Five of Cups card. I think he's in real deep regret at the moment. I think that, yeah, that he really, really wishes that things were different, is what I'm hearing, because then we've got here, so we've got persistence, still holding on, flowers, gifts. I think that a serious connection, or sorry, serious commitment was spoken between the two of you. I think that there were promises made here that didn't come to fruition. And I think that he was just like sucked off just as quickly as he came in, and then he was just gone again, right? I think that there were promises made here and then he just disappeared, is what I'm hearing. And he really understands this, but it's also part of the veil that he needs to be healing out. It's that real avoidant veil. And just to digress again, so that avoidant veil is what sits with the masculine, typically. And the masculine, it's a coping mechanism that the masculine will have since a very early age, so since childhood, since 3-4 years old. It's a coping mechanism that he's developed that he then takes into adulthood. But as a child, and you would have knowledge of this as well, it would have been a very tricky childhood that he had. He will have been told basically that he needs to be quiet, that he needs to squash his emotions, that anything that he is feeling is not valid, or he would have been made to feel like that. And so then he carries that childhood trauma then into adulthood. And so then he just ends up basically avoiding everything in life. He avoids getting too attached to people. He avoids his emotions. He avoids, a whole bunch of things. He'll probably be, your masculine's probably quite a procrastinator as well. So it's not just relationships that he avoids. It'll also be a whole variety of things across his life that he is an avoidance about. And so what happens then is, because he then meets you and you highlight all of those, you mirror back to him and highlight all of those traumas within him, the only way that he knows how to cope with that is to then avoid you, right? It's the only thing. So he goes straight into his avoiding veil. Unfortunately, though, what happens with that is, because he's avoiding and he's not dealing with his shadow, or he definitely doesn't heal with his shadow immediately after he meets you. And there's reasons for that. But he basically will try to avoid you and try to avoid healing for as long as he possibly can. That's the nature of the avoidant veil. What happens though is that the universe or his team will keep putting karmic situations and karmic relationships across his life until he eventually surrenders to the healing journey and actually starts dealing with that shadow and healing it out. Which is what's happened with you, right? Is he has been avoiding you, which is what happened. So he came in, he met you, he was triggered, and then he immediately then left again. Which has been some time. I'm just hearing it's been some time. But this has never left his mind, right? These discussions that he had with you, that sense of commitment with you, it's never left. It's always on his mind, is what I'm hearing. It's always there. Also, too, these roses here is what I'm seeing straight away. So red roses could really resonate with you. I'm also seeing white roses as well. So just roses in general, or red and white flowers, I could also resonate. All right, let's get a couple more cards here. All right. I just had a couple just fall on the floor. Bear with me here. I just want to see what these couple of cards are. Oh, it's one. What is this? Okay, I'm being told I need to take this. So this is infatuation, denial, obsession, attraction. This is all around him in his Six of Cups energy at the moment. And I'm going to put it right there under envy, right? So infatuation, denial, obsession, attraction. He's really thinking about you at the moment. All right, so snooping. We know he's been snooping. All right. But then we've got, it doesn't surprise me this has come up under that. I hope you can see that properly. I'll just shift these up a bit. I'll take up all the space here. We've got childless, so immature, aggravated, playing the victim. I definitely think that this is how he's been dealing with whatever emotion has come up as a result of his snooping. So yeah, I mean, then we've got envy. He's being immature, playing the victim. Quite wounded masculine energy here. Also quite wounded feminine, if I'm honest, as well. Like I said, I think he's opened Pandora's box with you, as I think that you did with him too. Though I feel that you are mirroring each other here. All right, so desire. But then we've got toxic people. Interesting that we come up under that. So addictions, bad advice, wrong crowd. I think that this is him reminiscing on the connection that you guys had when you met each other, but also the state that you guys were in, and the fact that he did get bad advice is what I just heard straight away. So I think that there was a lot of desire between you guys. I don't think that's ever gone. But I think that when he reached out to people around him, I think he was given some really bad advice about you, is what I'm hearing, which happens, right? Because twin flames, when you meet each other, you know, the world tells you that you shouldn't be attracted to each other, that it would never work. But that's the whole point of being in a twin flame connection, about being divine counterparts, is that you're supposed to show this world that you can break free of the mold. You know, that you don't have to be stuck in that rat race. You don't have to do what everybody else tells you is right. You know, that is one of you know, the points, the jobs, of why you're brought into a union with this person, is to show the people around you that you can actually you can heal and break free of these cycles. It's a reason why I'm digressing so much on the twin flame journey. I feel that, yeah, that whoever's listening to this really needs to hear it. But also the fact that addictions really played a big part, I think, in this connection with the two of you, which is what he's reminiscing on. So I'm thinking gambling. I heard gambling straight away, but it could also be substances as well. Oh gosh, I don't know if you just heard that. Car. Just as a bit of a confirmation, I was a really loud rev of a car. Just we're talking about addiction, so that probably really resonates with this collective. All right, then we've got dating. And there it is. That is actually the twin flame card. So he is concerned that you've moved on, right? But he sees you 100% as his twin flame. I mean, there it is, 1111. You could also be seeing a lot of 1111 at the moment. That number probably really resonates with you if you're on this twin flame journey. You could also just be seeing just a lot of repeating numbers in general. So like 333, 555. You could just be seeing a lot of that. But that's, you know, that is twin flame. So divine timing, runner chaser. We've got the timing here again as well. I'm thinking that your masculine is concerned that he has left this a long time to come through, and that if he leaves it for much longer, that you are actually going to find someone else. I think that he is really concerned about it, which would make sense because I think this is what you are concerned about as well. All right, so double life. Planning, so text, phone call, meeting up. I think that he wants to come through with a confession. That's really my confession card. So texting, phone call, meeting up, trying to come through. Also, I think that he's trying to, it's really going over in his head as to whether he should be coming through or not, given this, right, the deception and the fact that he made you feel like a third party, that he didn't make you feel like a priority. I think he looks back at this and is just thinking, if I do reach out, would she even take me back again? Would she even speak to me? Is what I'm hearing. I think he really doesn't want to come through to you though. I'm seeing that Two of Wands energy. All right, so persistent, still holding on. Then we've got this, we've got that unemployed card. That's so interesting that would come out under that, because we've got broke, fire, living beyond means. This also came out in yesterday's collective as well. So you might resonate a little bit with yesterday's collective. But broke, fire, living beyond means. This is interesting. It's come up under persistent, so still holding on. I think that the reason that he couldn't offer you that connection, or why he was just disappeared, is to do with this. So it's to do with his pentacle path. It's to do with, living beyond his means, broke. I don't think that he felt that he could offer you the commitment that you needed at the time. And let's be honest, we're both so broken at that point, and you're such broken birds when you met each other, that I'm going to be honest, like, he wouldn't have been able to offer you this. I know that it was spoken about and that it really hurt. It caused that real 10 of Swords energy when he left. But there is no way that he would have been able to offer you that. And also, like, he wants to offer a stable connection, right? And you want that stable connection, that real King of Pentacles energy, very stable, very financially dependable, is what I'm hearing. But when you guys met, he was in this energy. He was in a broke energy, let's be honest. That's what I'm hearing. He was quite broke when you guys met. Not just spiritually broke, but financially broke as well. But this is all what he's going over, right? He's really going over all of this. I get this real sense that he is trying to heal this out. I'm going to get the tarot and actually break this down, but this is his overall energy, right? He's trying to heal this out though. He sees you as his divine counterpart. He knows he has to heal before coming through to you. All right, let's get the tarot. I want to see what's really going on with this divine masculine, and really what your team wants you to hear about this connection. All right, which tarot deck will I get? All right, I think for this masculine, we're going to get this one here. This is the Secret Web Tarot. Sacred Web, I should say. Sacred Web Tarot. Okay, let's get this one. All right, I just want to bring that out again. All right, so I just want to get your masculine's energy. What does your spirit team want you to know about this connection? What's happening? All right, what's happening with this connection? Way too many. So if you can hear snoring, that is my dog. She's very happily asleep not too far from my feet, if you can actually hear that. You can hear that sound in the background. Okay, so straight away we've got Scout of Air, but in the reverse. I'm going to take this in the upright. We've got Two of Pentacles. By the way, Scout in this deck is the Knight as well. So we've got Knight of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Oh. We've got Seven of Cups, but in the reverse. Seven of Wands. Then we've got Source of Earth, which is the King of Earth. So we've got the Page of, or Source of Air in reverse. Right, so this is, so with me, this is someone who, or this is the energy that your masculine is in at the moment. So this is someone who really doesn't have their thoughts together at the moment. It's also a very, I'm just going to say an emotionally blocked energy is how I feel. It's also quite an emotionally avoidant energy. So I think that this masculine has still got his running boots on. I think that he's still in that avoidant energy, and you would know this as well. But this is part of his shadow that he's trying to heal out, right? And he knows this. He knows this about himself. He knows that he is that that knight in of swords, but in the reverse, right? So quite a cold energy as well, but really quite an avoidant energy. It's really my avoidant card. But it's all part of his shadow, and he knows. I just get this overall sense that he knows this. He knows this about himself. He knows that he's trying to heal this out. I'm going to come, because this is the ultimate outcome that he wants with you, right? But which is the King of Pentacles. But I'm going to come. Let's deal with the cards in between, right? So then we've got these blockers. So interesting that this would come out, because we're talking about Two of Pentacles, right? Which is all around finding balance, so that work-life balance, right? Trying to balance family, trying to balance friends, trying to balance work, all of that. Two of Pentacles in the upright, means that you've got your stuff together. But given that this is in the blocker row, then it means that he knows that he didn't make you a priority, right? So he wasn't able to find that balance, that there were other things that were ahead of you that he feels deep regret about. Like he knows that about himself, right? He knows that this was something that made you feel pretty lousy, I'm hearing, is the fact that he wasn't able to make you this priority. Which then leads us into the Seven of Cups as well. So just but in the reverse, right? So just confirming that he just wasn't able to offer you, that emotional stability that you needed. He wasn't able to make you feel like that priority that you really needed to be. And he absolutely understands this. Also that real emotional immaturity as well. He knows this about himself, though. Also, straight away, I'm just seeing Pisces, the two fish, I should say, which is Pisces. So you could be dealing with a Pisces. You could also be dealing with a water sign as well. So it could also be a Cancer or a Scorpio. But I was just seeing the two fish with real Pisces energy there. But then we've got the Seven of Wands, which is around, setting boundaries in this relationship. I think that he definitely feels that you put up a boundary with him, which I'm hearing that he thinks it was absolutely deserved. I'm just hearing that as well. That he knows that you had to put up boundaries with him, right? He knows that, and he completely understands that because of the place that he was in at the time that you guys met. I'm just hearing that. But then this is what he wants, right? Like he wants that source of earth energy, which is the king. It's the King of Pentacles energy. He wants to be the King of Pentacles. He wants to be able to come through and offer this financial stability to you, this emotional stability. He wants to be that king. He wants to be your divine masculine. But I think that he understands that he has these avoidant tendencies that he really needs to be healing out, and this emotional immaturity. All right, so we've got Scout of Air in the reverse. And then so interesting, that would then be with the Student of Air, but then in the reverse. So this is the Scout, and then the Student, which is the Page, right? Which is all around lost opportunity. So he knows that through his avoidant behavior that he ultimately lost a huge opportunity with you. He understands that. He knows it. It's part, like I said, it's part of his shadow that he's trying to work out at the moment. Very interesting that they'll come up under that. And then we've got the Two of Pentacles. All right, I'm going to take both of these. But then we've got, so this one here, I'm going to put that under there like that. So this is, so that's a feather, the Ace of Feathers or the Ace of Swords, which is a breakthrough. So this is something that he's been reflecting on, and he's had a breakthrough around this, about the fact that he hasn't made you a priority. The fact that he did have this real emotional immaturity about him, that he wasn't able to juggle all of his priorities around him. And that this ultimately left to the separation between the two of you. Like, he understands this, he's had a breakthrough, which is actually a really nice card, because it means that he is in deep reflection. Like, he understands his shadow, which means he will also be aware, and he's activated on this journey. So he's currently doing shadow work. He is working through this. All right, so then we've got the Seven of Cups in reverse, and then we've got the Ten of Cups, but also in reverse. So Ten of Cups is about entirely, like emotional fulfillment. But then in the reverse, it's obviously completely the opposite of that. He knows how much damage, emotional damage he's caused here. He knows how much pain and hurt there has been as a result of his actions. He gets it. I'm just hearing that he understands it. He's trying to currently learn different ways to deal with this. Like, this is this card here, that Ace of Swords. Like, he's having breakthroughs around it. He's reflecting. He does know that this was a missed opportunity with you. He's just hoping that you haven't found someone else already. So what I'm just hearing is he's really hoping you haven't found someone else. All right, so then we've got setting boundaries. All right, setting boundaries. Oh, this is actually a really special card. This is very special to the deck. This doesn't really come out very often. This is specific. I'm getting all tongue-tied. This card is all very specific to this deck, and it's all around stepping into your divine path, right? Stepping into your destiny. You can see the sun there. It's about enlightenment, really. So very interesting that this card would come under this Seven of Wands. I think that he knows the enlightenment journey that you've been on. I think you're both going through this journey, but he knows as a part of your journey that you had to set these boundaries with him, that in order for you to be on your path, to step into your divine light, then you had to set these boundaries with him. And I think he totally understands it. He gets it. He sees that. All right, and then so we've got Source of Earth. All right, I'm going to take this in the upright. But this is, so Source of Earth, King of Pentacles, and then we've got the Three of Pentacles in the upright. So Three of Pentacles in the upright is all around being a student, being in collaboration with others. This is a beautiful card to come under that, because it means that he wants to step into this energy of the Source of Earth, and he's currently getting guidance on how to do that, right? He's collaborating, he's reaching out to others, he's trying to understand how he can step into this Source of Earth to become this stable person with his, I'm trying to choose my words carefully, but with his stuff together, right? He wants to be this. And I think he's currently getting guidance. He's talking to people. He's reaching out. He's a student in this at the moment, which is actually a really positive card. I know how frustrated you are in this connection, and I know I've been a little bit harsh on this masculine, but he really is trying to step into this energy for you. And he understands the journey that you're on as well, which means he's definitely activated to this journey. Oh, okay, beautiful. All right, I want to get to see what next steps are. For fear of this reading going way too long, I want to just get next steps. So I'm going to get the little black cards for this. And when I say next steps, I actually want to see what's happening over the next month. I'm just going to say month. That just came straight to my head. So let's have a look at what's happening with your masculine and this connection over the next month. All right, so let's ring that out. All right, what's happening? Next steps of this masculine over the next month. What's going on? Okay, that's the first one. All right, I can already see a card there that's very interesting. In fact, I'm even going to take this, right, to start with. We've got the sword and rose. So clarity, truth, revelation. I think you've actually got something coming through to you. This is really weighing on this masculine's mind, but this is very much reminds me of the that Ace of Swords, right, which has come up already, right? Yeah, it's that revelation, that breakthrough, that I think you've got something coming through to you. And roses again, I think that roses are a big thing between the two of you. We've got that roses sign there. So I think that's actually a little bit of magic there, because I think roses are very important here. You might even show up with a bunch of roses. I just heard that. You might actually show up. But I think that you've got something coming through to you. It's a revelation about something. Then we've got butterfly. Well, this is the journey that he's on at the moment. So we've got, relationship evolving. So healing inner child growth. It's a real metamorphosis card, which is what, that's the healing journey that he's on at the moment. But we've also got, I'm immediately drawn to revelation evolving, which is why he's in deep regret and deep reflection about the connection between the two of you. Like I said, I think you've got something coming through to you. We've then got karmic relationship, so triggers, turmoil, lessons, letting go, just confirming that he is on this journey. And this comes back to that very first card that I drew for you as well, around karmic cycles. You're closing out karmic cycles, that real that wheel of fortune that we saw, but you had it in the reverse, right? You feel like it's really stuck at the moment. He's also going through his own karmic cycles at the moment and healing it out, right? He's also healing. So he's also dealing with his triggers, letting go as well. And then we've got coffin. So once again, just confirming, so this is, new starts. This is, reminds me very much of the death card, so new beginnings, growth, change. He's really going through his own metamorphosis here. And then we've got the clock, which comes up to time. I'm just hearing divine timing. This is all guarded, all guided, all protected by the divine, and all under divine timing. I've just heard that as well. There has been time between the two of you. There's been a lot of time between messages. I'm hearing between contact. There's been a lot of time in there. I think both of you are very, very conscious of this. Like I said, your masculine is really thinking about the time that this has taken as well. This is very much playing on his mind. Like I've already said before, the time that it has taken for this masculine to come through, he is concerned that by the time he comes back in again, you will have found someone else. I think that's definitely something that's playing on his mind a lot. I'll just get a couple more cards here, but I think he's on the verge. Let's see if Coffee Cup comes out. If Coffee Cup comes out, Coffee Cup card, I'll get my words out, Coffee Cup card comes out, then I think you've definitely got something coming through very soon. Well, there's sunglasses. So that's also confirming. Look, stalking, not the gaslighting bit, but look, the stalking, watching, looking. This is your masculine stalking you, both energetically and also looking in at old photos and things, which confirms what I was saying. Is I think he's been on your social media. I think you know this, right? He is around you. His energy's around you at the moment. Oh, and then we've got girl talk, time with friends, moving on, happily single. This is how, when he was stalking you, this is what he was seeing. This is what I was talking about before. So thank you, Spirit, just confirming everything I was picking up on. Moving on, this is really what he's scared. Look at that you're happily single, living in the moment, having fun. That's the card I was seeing. All right, which is why I think all of this, he's in deep regret at the moment. We'll try one more and see if coffee cup comes out. Okay, one more. We've got stabs in the back, heart. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I'm being told that that's the last card. But stabs in the back, so heartbreak, pain, separation. This is you guys. All right, he's very much feeling, like I said, deep regret at the moment. But he wants to be coming through to you, you know, with this revelation, with this breakthrough that he's gone through. I really feel that he wants to share this with you. I also just heard as well that you will probably be surprised about how healed this masculine is when he does come through to you. I just heard that as well. But he's definitely at the moment going over the heartbreak, the pain, the separation that is between the two of you, and the times, the separation and the time. All right, so I'm just going to finish off then with a couple of, I say a couple, but it could probably be more than that. I haven't gotten these cards for a little while, to be honest, but it's the message cards through from your masculine. If I just get these, without knocking everything off. All right, so just these little cards here. Like I said, I haven't actually used these for a little while, so let's have a look. Let's see what's coming through. So messages directly through from your masculine. These also could be numbers that you're seeing as well. All right, I just feel like I need to take a couple more. One, and then maybe one more. Two. Okay. All right, so messages directly from your masculine. We've got a few here. So I think this one came out first, right? So let's look at that. So he's got, I've never imagined so much perfection. Well, I believe that. I think he is absolutely looking at you. He's remembering this connection, and he's especially his divine counterparts, you know, twin flames. You hold each other on a pedestal. Like I said before, there will be no one that compares to your masculine. He feels the same about you, I can assure you. So I've never known so much perfection. Number 4, what do you want? I think so it goes over his mind a lot. If he comes through to you, is he going to be able to offer everything that you need? I think that goes a lot. Also 94 could be an important number here. 4th of the 9th, 9th of the 4th. Could be important dates. Happiness is my priority. I think happiness for the two of you is very much what's playing on his mind at the moment. Can he make you happy? I think is what do you want? Can he make you happy? Is what is going over his mind. So 43, 34, 4th of the 3rd, 3rd of the 4th. Number 10, so you make my heart full. Well, of course you do. Of course you make his heart full. But number 6, I know you from somewhere. Confirming exactly what we were saying is that you guys probably had this discussion when you met, is that, do I know you from somewhere? Like, I feel like I know you from somewhere. And the truth is that you do know. You guys have known each other through lifetime after lifetime. Yeah, but this was spoken about this because it's just confirming what I said when I like a couple of decks ago. The number 4 again, so he's probably seeing a lot of 4/4s. I think I said that as well before as well. So 4/4, 4/4/4. I need more time. But that time has come up again. I think that he's still in a reflection as to whether he should, as to when to be coming through to you. But it's the time factor here. It keeps coming up. It's the time that it's taken, which is what I mean. Like it's been some time since you guys have spoken. I can't even look at you right now. This will be him stalking. This is whatever he's seen on social media. So I can't even look at you right now. Straight away I'm seeing that envy card again. So the number 5, so 45, 54. These could also, I just heard, so these could also be house numbers as well. And then we've got 3, 3, so 3, 3, 3. Seeing a lot of repeating numbers. So your family won't like me. Probably this is exactly what led to your separation. One of the things, right, is it happens between twin flames that you guys come from very, very different backgrounds, different lifestyles. And at the time, you probably had your family, both of your families, telling you this won't work. Like this is not your person. But like I said, deep down, you know this is your person. So you make my heart full. I want you to choose. I want you to choose me. I just heard straight away. I want you to choose me. The masculine. He definitely wants you to choose him. That's for sure. And then we've got the number 21. You are so very special. So do I know you from somewhere? You are very special. Oh, well, that's really lovely. All right, I definitely think that you've got something coming through to you. Like I said, when we pulled his deck, he wants to come through. I think that you have a truth coming through. I think you've got a revelation. There's been a breakthrough in this masculine's life. All right, lovely. Thank you so much. That really was beautiful energy. That is the end of the reading. So, look, if you've made it through to this far, does that make sense? If you've made it this far in the reading, then I would ask that you subscribe and you also like to this content as well. And not only obviously helps me, but it really helps these messages get out to those that really need to hear them, especially since I'm such a brand new channel here to YouTube. So it really does help these messages get out to the right people. All right, beautiful. Well, that's really the end of the reading. So I will leave it there and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.